Hello, hello, hello. This is Ozioma Egwuonwu, the founder of World Dream Day, and I am so excited that we have the opportunity to be together on World Dream Day. Happy World Dream Day. I have my sign. Look at that. I'm so excited. And regardless where you are joining in from, I just want to thank you. And I want to say that this is our 13th annual World Dream Day. And it's a significant one because of this theme, Dream Together. It takes us back to the foundations of how this entire day, how this entire movement began. But before I begin to tell you this story, what I want to do is for us to have a moment of pause, a moment of fully arriving into our session, which is going to be one that's going to include a walk down memory lane, as well as sharing with you what you can look forward to as it relates to our amazing programming. And when I say amazing, yesterday for our pre celebration impact day, it was awesome. And today it's amazing. And I'm going to tell you in detail why. But for now, let us now tune in and connect to the energy of the dream. I invite you to close your eyes and to take a deep and centering breath in and out, and feeling into your body as you do so, locating where the resistance or where the stiffness or energy might exist that is keeping you from your dream. And again, we breathe in and out, allowing in our bodies even more release. You may want to move your body, your shoulders, shake your hands, and just feel yourself becoming more available in this moment to the power of your dreams, knowing that you are supported by people all over the world who are doing the same on this very powerful, powerful day. And we're going to do a final breath in and out, a final centering breath, a unification breath, one that fully lands us in the fullness and the full availability of our ideas, goals, and dreams. So we breathe in, and out. And now a couple of shakes, and we arrive fully for our session. I am just so happy. If you really understood how happy I am, you might just explode. I'm joking, but seriously, it has been 13 years of holding and tending and discovering collaborators who would join in on this journey, who would become partners in believing in the magic and power of this day, in the magic and power of dreams, in the deeper understanding that when we speak about dreams, we are not speaking about this airy fairy concept, although for some it might be that as well. We are actually speaking about the existence, the essence of human potential, and the invitation to activate it. From the moment that a dream is born within us, it is like a seed that, if given the right nutrients, if given the right conditions, can truly blossom. And it is our responsibility, it is our invitation to make ourselves fully available and to get into full commitment as it relates to what this dream can truly do for us and the world. If we are tuned to the frequency of it, if we allow it to be of the highest use and service, so much magic can unfold, so much meaning can unfold. And as I expressed to those who joined us this morning in Lisbon, Portugal, for our Dream Together breakfast, that it actually isn't about whether or not you fulfill the dream, although that, of course, is what many of us want. It is about who you become on the way to activating that dream. that is in fact more important than the fulfillment of it. Because the version of you that emerges, if you allow it to, is one that reflects the best that is within you. And we're not talking about the nefarious dreams, the ones that seek to undermine others, the dreams that seek to hurt and to cause harm. We are talking about the higher order dreams and possibilities of humanity, the higher possibilities of what is present within us that can connect to others to make so much more possible. And so on this day, this World Dream Day, September 25th, we celebrate the power of the dream. We celebrate the power of our potential. We acknowledge that there may be a gap between our aspirations and our ability to achieve them. And on the journey, we take a sacred commitment to become a dream runner. For us, in this world of World Dream Day, a dream runner is someone who has taken the idea out of their mind and they're moving powerfully forward with it. And as they do, there are sparks that come off of the dream runner that serve as seeds of possibility that are shared with others, with organizations, with communities. So as you advance your ideas, your goals, your dreams, you become a way shower that is showing the way for others and planting the seeds for others to take their dreams forward as well. And dream runners can be individuals, dream runners can be communities, dream runners can be businesses, dream runners can be organizations, dream runners can be countries that are striving to advance, or countries that are striving to make a difference for all those who choose to call that place home. There are many different ways to be a dream runner, and World Dream Day provides the opportunity for us to do so, to take our dreams and move forward with them. And with that said, I want to actually read our dream manifesto. Our dream manifesto is a manifesto that I wrote many years ago that I think becomes more and more relevant every year as our world continues to move on a trajectory that doesn't serve all of us. But that the more that we come into deeper alignment with our greater possibilities, the more we say, no, we deserve to live in a world where more and more people believe that their ideas, goals, and dreams can truly be realized, where more and more people feel that the way in which they are living has dignity and respect from all, and dignity and respect for all. And so with that intention, I will share with you the Dream Manifesto. The world belongs to those who dare to believe in the power, beauty, and brilliance of their dreams. Those who dare to mend a world unraveling at its seams. The world belongs to the dreamer that lives within you and me. We build a better future when we let our best ideas roam free. Today, our world is calling upon us to dream differently because the way we go about achieving our ideas, goals, and dreams often impacts those we will never see. So let's come together and build better lives, better businesses, better communities. Let's dream up a better, brighter world filled with endless possibilities. Let's dream up a more loving, peaceful, and whole human family. One day, one day, one day, we will awaken to a world far greater than we ever knew because of the choices made each day by me and you and you. We will awaken to a world made possible only because each of us took a stand, honoring the dreams everywhere, in every land. Honoring the dreams everywhere, in every land. Honoring that it doesn't matter the color of our skin, what faith we choose to honor, how much money is in our bank accounts, where we went to school, what city we live in, what husband or wife or other that we may call partner, what things that may have happened in our past. None of it matters. We care for each other because we recognize that we are all one. We are connected in the realm of the dream because each of us know what it's like to have a dream. And I know that there may be some of you that are tuning in today who say, I've given up my dreams. I don't know what my dreams are. Oh, dreaming. I used to dream long ago. Now it's time for work. Now it's time for the children. Now it's time for my dog. Now it's time for my aging parents. And yes, it may be time for us to play certain roles, but it is always time to have a dream within us that is moving us and advancing us and connecting us to what really matters and to who we really are. And so the Dream Manifesto serves as an opening statement, serves as a reminder, not only about the importance of dreams, but the impact of them. The fact that often the way we go about our achieving our ideas, goals, and dreams often impacts those we will never see. And so if you are advancing down a course, it behooves all of us to consider how our ideas, goals, and dreams impact others. And is there a way for us to approach it in a way that actually respects all of life to a greater degree than it currently does? And so, World Dream Day, we are here together. And I want to share with you a little bit about what we can look forward to on this special day. But before I do that, I want to actually share with you the story of World Dream Day and how it came to be, and also pay homage to the first Dream Together request that took this idea, this dream, from just an idea, a vision of possibility, to becoming real. Many moons ago, I was a corporate vice president of strategy. In fact, I was what was known as the head of cultural insight and innovation at an agency on Madison Avenue. And I went away to a business offsite in California. And in my hotel room, there was a book that was titled, Don't Die with Your Music Still in You. And it was written by a gentleman who had come to be known, or who came to be known as the Subway Sinatra. He was this man who loved to sing. And for him, one of the greatest challenges is that he wasn't doing the work that he truly loved. He may have liked his work. He may have cared for his work. He may have saw the value of his work, but deep within him was a desire to truly think. He was working actually in the trains, in the New York City train stations. And I can't remember whether he was a conductor or whether he was just working and helping to clean up, but he was working in the MTA system. And he would sing all the time, and people would hear his beautiful voice and wail it on to way. And one day he was able to achieve his dream. When I opened up the book, it was actually the quote that was written inside that transformed my life. That quote by Sarah Bronick said, "The world needs dreamers and the world needs doers, but above all, the world needs dreamers that do." Dreamers that do. The connection of those two, in some cases, some would consider polarities, exploded and created a fire of ignition within me because I thought to myself, yes, that is right. You cannot have people dreaming la 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 without taking action. And you can't have people taking action, work, 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 without the presence of the higher dream. When a dream and action come together, that is truly when things begin to advance. And I went to bed that evening, fully activated by this idea of dreamers that do. And when I woke up in the morning, I heard a voice that said, small dreams, big dreams, bring them all. Tonight we dance at the Dreamers Ball. And I'm sure many of you can relate to hearing or feeling or sensing something upon your earliest moments of awakening. And I thought to myself, that's it. I'm going to create a dance, a ball where people get dressed up in honor of their dreams. They're going to celebrate. And because I come when I was in, undergrad and grad school, I was in theater. So I saw this beautiful, you know, experience. And then I thought, like we often do, oh, come on, I'm a vice president of strategy. What do you mean dreamers ball? How am I going to make this happen? What is this all about? And then I thought to myself, okay, maybe this idea is a bit too complex. And what if we just had a day for dreamers, a day to just focus on our dreams? And I thought, yes, that will be sufficient. And isn't it interesting how we often come up with these big dreams and then we say, oh, let me just reduce it. But unbeknownst to us, we actually are birthing something bigger. We just don't see it at the moment. And how many of us abandon the bigger dream because we feel it's not realizable, because it may not be feasible at that time. But the invitation is to allow the process of unfoldment to take its course and to make ourselves available to others so that we can then allow the dream to unfold in the way that it's meant to. And so, as it relates to this dream that I was dreaming of what was then the Dreamers Ball, that then became a day for dreamers, I was teaching at Columbia University. I was a lecturer, a university lecturer. I did it for about 5 years, and I developed their course, their master's course on developing and implementing ideas. And so I really packed in this robust approach to really understanding ideas, advancing them, creating strategic plans around ideas, marketing and expressing them. And I loved teaching this course. And this course allowed me to go deeper into the realm of ideas because I was also simultaneously, like I said, head of a cultural insight and innovation division within an agency network, within a four-office company, a four-office agency. And so the space of ideas was very, very, very powerful for me. And so I went about thinking of this day for dreamers that was just going to be a day in Brooklyn at a place called Brooklyn Launchpad. And a very wonderful man named Michael gave me the opportunity to rent the space, I believe, or maybe it was donated for World Dream Day. Either way, he made it available to us, and we are completely and forever grateful. But one of the key things that happened, aside from Michael saying, yes, of course you can do this day here, is I began to come into contact with a group of individuals known as social artists. I'd learned about social artistry from someone who would play a very important role in my life, Dr. Jean Houston. And I thought, okay, I'm an educator. I'm going to go to this social artistry event and I'm just going to learn about social artistry and that will be that. But when we arrived with all the other educators, because it was social artistry for educators, um, it became possible for us to begin to share what our movements were, what we were up to. And I ended up being paired with a woman named Judy Phillips, a Southerner, white woman who lived in America, Georgia. And as I began to share with her my vision, my dream for this day in Brooklyn, she said in this beautiful lilting voice, which I will never be able to replicate, but I love so much. Well, Ozioma, I love this idea of your dream day. And I would love for my community in Albany, Georgia, to dream with yours. Can we dream together? Dream together. Can we dream together? Yes. Yes, my community in Brooklyn, which for me, I wanted it to be diverse because I had been doing these events called Spread Light Socials and bringing different parts of the community together to talk about good, to talk about what's working and what's good in our community and about ideas and questions that arose during our sessions. And I said, yes, I would love for my community to dream with Albany, Georgia. And in that moment, something sparked. And that's what happens when we dream together. In that moment, something begins to emerge and arise that is bigger than the dreamers themselves. And it is rooted in collaboration. It is rooted in connection. It is rooted in the belief that together we are stronger than separated. Because then I thought to myself, if we can dream with Albany, Georgia, we can dream with the world. And so I went about in 2012 creating my first ever live stream. So we talk about going live now, but that wasn't happening. I had to learn how to do it. My dream was now supporting me in accelerating and expanding my skill set. And that is what dreams do. They allow us to expand. They allow us to explore. They allow us to make connections that we might not have ever made before. And so I went about learning how to do that. We went about creating the event, and then we went about creating materials that really communicated that there was going to be a J for dreamers and that we were going to create this International Day for Dreamers. And that year, I did my first ever live stream, essentially 13 years ago, or on this 13th anniversary, but it was a different day. It was a day in August. And what happened is I went to bed thinking that nobody paid attention and that nobody celebrated and that I was just, sending out my flyers to the community and posting on Facebook and sharing my message and that no one really cared. I don't know how many people got the message that we were creating this day for dreamers. Darn it. And then I went to bed feeling a little bit like, well, I did my best. And then I woke up and I saw this image and a couple of more images that transformed everything for me. Dream Day 2012. This is a woman in St. Lucia, I believe, that was on a beach that posted this Dream Day 2012. And you see how she's just chilling. She's just relaxing. She's just enjoying herself on this beach and sent it. And then I received more images like this. A group of gymnasts. Let's see if we can get it straight. I'm going to put it right there. Hopefully you can see this. Maybe you can't, but I'll tilt it. There we go. Tilt, a little tilt. It's a little fuzzy, but it's a group of gymnasts with their dream declarations. Because what I did was to create what's known as a dream declaration and make it available to others, which then communicated to me that the actual declaration was being used. This first tool, this first free resource was being used. And then I received an image which sits in my apartment in New York of a woman in the forest with a sign, and it was from Bali. A woman in Bali had received this invitation to dream and was sharing her dream. And in that moment, here we are with St. Lucia. Here we are with a group of gymnasts in the South. Here we are with Bali. We are with the world. And of course, we were with those in Albany, Georgia, and my dear friend, Juby Phillips. And so I share this because that's how things expand. When we begin to make that invitation, when we begin to make ourselves, our resources, our tools more available for others. And on World Dream Day, I declared my dream of wanting to take this idea of World Dream Day on the road because I had never done my own cross-country tour. Again, I'm still a vice president of strategy, and I'm starting to become more and more of a bigger dreamer. And I knew that it was time for me to take the show on the road. And so with that, I wrote to take World Dream Day, in essence, is what it became. But to take this Dream Runner, because that was the concept behind World Dream Day, to take this Dream Runner concept on tour to 5 cities in 2013. Just 5 cities. That's all I wanted. 5 cities. That's all I wanted. 5 cities. And what happened instead of just those 5 cities was magnificent. This is a small book. You can't really see it. Here we go. And it says Dreams Across America. 47 days, 25 states, not 5 cities, 25 states, one cause, one cause. And in this book, here I am with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s statue, meeting dreamers in Kentucky and in Asheville, North Carolina, connecting with people in St. Louis, going and going and going around the world, meeting with Milos Yellow Hair, who played a pivotal role in the history of Indigenous liberation, as well as the great, great, great granddaughter of Chief Fire Lightning, and meeting with our Indigenous brothers and sisters, going to the Sacred Arch in Utah, and going and seeing the beauty that is the Americas, meeting with unlikely friends like bikers and a couple that were in their 70s on their honeymoon, showing that the dream of love is still alive at any age, connecting with artists like Christopher Birch and artisans in Utah, connecting to people at the Cracker Barrel, as well as a man with a llama and many more, learning about their stories, learning about their histories, learning and learning and learning, being supported by dear friends, and going in, that's me here, into the wild field of dreaming and doing, and connecting once more with, this is actually an image of Crazy Horse. You can't see it because it keeps blurring, but it essentially says, no matter how crazy your dreams are to others, who cares? Keep running with it. Keep dreaming and doing. So again, this notion of the dream runner, the idea of the person who is taking their dream out of their mind and they're moving forward with it. And so that was part of the story. That was part of the journey of moving from dreams to action, declaring a dream powerfully on World Dream Day, and watching my world begin to expand. It was also at this time that there was a survey called The World We Want. And they were inviting, the United Nations was inviting people to take this survey out into the communities as they move forward, as well as digitally the survey was being administered. But we wanted to understand, what is the world that we want? And this survey that I took out with me for 47 days on the road was actually part of the inputs that became the Sustainable Development Goals. And I was there in and out of the United Nations around that time, learning and connecting and being on the road, and transitioning from my role had already happened, leaving corporate America, leaving the comfort, if you will, of a certain life, and going out into the great unknown, figuring it out as I went, and always supported and connected, and at times feeling very much alone and very much unsupported. And then letting all of that go in order to move and advance into a higher order version of myself as I supported others in doing the same. And as the dream began to grow with materials like this was the first ever presentation for World Dream Day. What became World Dream Day? Just a couple of slides, if you will. Just a couple of slides. As they say, nothing to see here, but so much to see here, so much to be here. And I'm sharing this with people because people may say, how do you come from a kernel of an idea a possibility of a dream to an entire global movement. And it doesn't happen alone. It only happens when we dream together, when we come into a greater degree of collaboration and connection. And this dream of going out on the road and saying, okay, we've gone out on the road, we've learned about dreams, we have this day, but then what? I was doing workshops, I was doing seminars, I was learning about the power of ideas, goals, and dreams. And then I began to say, okay, we need to connect with others who are offering resources. So we began to connect with organizations and institutions. This doesn't exist anymore, this idea of crowded, but the notion of crowdfunding and supporting others with their dreams still exists. And we were pioneering new pathways, new possibilities for how to come into greater collaboration and connection with those who dream and those who dare to do, dreamers that do. We also connected with ideas like peace. This is the dream of peace. This is an event we did in Newburgh, New York, a pop-up peace event being held to draw awareness to the dream of peace in the minds, homes, schools, and streets of Newburgh, New York. And Newburgh, New York became the site of transformation where I began to explore and see the power of dreams. Newburgh, New York became the foundation where I began to serve. And one of the ways in which I served and many others did was by creating a transformational community center called the Newburgh Dream Center that had resources available to the community so that they can dream and advance their goals and visions of possibility as they evolved within their community. And the years and years went on, and the level of impact continued to evolve, and the ways in which we developed lesson plans that touched students in Dubai, that now would touch students in other countries in the Middle East, to creating training pathways for young kids to dream. But behind these young kids is actually the first ever dream wall that we created, where the city of Newburgh was able to keep this dream wall that I commissioned the installation of, to collect the dreams, to be an official representation that dreams exist in this community and that we matter. We also ended up doing murals and many, many, many other experiences that supported the community as I simultaneously, year after year, would bring forth a new theme for the world to celebrate. And then eventually we began to connect with ambassadors, people like Rana Badarani, the World Dream Day Ambassador of France, people like Ida Mancini, the Dream Day Ambassador of Italy, as well as Coach Clarissa Medina, who is the World Dream Day Ambassador for the Philippines, who rented out an entire bookstore to bring forth her dream project. This notion of dreaming together. Peter Aikpahon, who is my dear brother, also from Nigeria, not my brother by blood, but my brother by nation of origin. Dream Day Nigeria every year, renting out beautiful halls to gather artisans, to gather people of faith, to dream together, to bring forth the role and the importance of dreams in Nigeria. Empress Taloa of South Africa, who brought forth many, many, many World Dream Days and served so deeply with programs and now multi-stakeholder collaborations, as well as her own work of going deeper into the heart. And so this idea of dreaming together is so important. And today you will be able to experience our celebration programming. On this day, many local communities are activating, just like where I am currently, Lisbon, Portugal. We had a beautiful World Dream Day, Dream Together breakfast, where many different dreamers came together, talked about the importance of dreams, spoke into existence what dreams that they're working on. And even the dreams that they don't know about, they say, I don't really know what my dream is, but I have a felt sense of what I'm yearning for. And then we created something, a new technology, a new approach that I developed last year around something called the dream effect. We have things called artifacts, as we know. An artifact is representative of something that happened long ago. a keepsake from a time past. A dream, in fact, is a representation of the once and desired future. A dream, in fact, is something that signifies that this is the dream that we desire and that it is representing a future that we would like to see made realized. Here is the flag that was waved when all the conflicts in the world immediately began to cease. Here is the belt that represents the last time a man hurt another human being or a woman hurt another human being. But in this case, the last time a man used his belt against his wife. This is the belt. Here are the cards that we played on the night when we looked up at the sky and saw a celestial occurrence. What are the dream effects that we will create, that we will imagine, that we will co-envision, that represent the future that we desire? Today at the Dream Breakfast, I invited some of the participants to share their dreams, and I'm going to read them to you as an opener to our World Dream Day expression of dreams. And if you haven't so far, the invitation is to use hashtag World Dream Day and to share your dream. Share an image, or just share words, share a voice note, share whatever it is within your heart, but share your dream. And if you have nothing to share, just express Happy World Dream Day. And so here are some of the dreams that were brought into awareness during our session, our Dream Together session. More recognition of our shared humanity and less polarization. To celebrate all of our uniqueness in the dimensions we can't see. For everyone to understand their identity, wishes, and being a part of communities that fuel each other and stops loneliness that so many of us experience today. My dream is for countries and companies to value the importance of migration and global migrants as diverse as drivers of growth and evolution. So really speaking to the heart of this migrant conversation that is a hot button today. I dream of a world that values people and the power of communities, celebrating diversity and the beauty of different cultures and sharing ideas so that dreams can continue to come true. I dream of a world where everyone gets to live a happier life and does what they love, surrounded and supported by their community. The essence of dreaming together, the essence of our communal dream effect. And so you can create your own dream effect using a piece of paper and writing down the dreams of your own or inviting others to share with you. A dream effect can be a circle conversation like we did last year with visionaries. And even the Zoom session, the Zoom recording is archival now. It is a dream effect. Commemorate the seeds of possibility that you see emerging all around us because they represent that our world is changing. Wherever you see the good rising, wherever you see possibility emerging, honor it. Take note of it. Spread the good word. Because at this time of great polarization, we find that the negativity is being spread like wildfire. Memes that infect our consciousness and that continue to reify a world that no one deep inside of their hearts, unless they are truly, truly, truly deviant or decrepit, want. Who wants to truly live in a world run amok? Who wants to live in a world where we see each other as enemies, not as who we truly are, beloved brothers and sisters? I for sure do not want that. And so World Dream Day is the way in which we support those who are dreaming of higher possibilities, providing the tools, the resources, the inspiration, the affirmation that together so much more is possible. And so on this day, you will experience an opening ceremony by the Red Road Journey, a pan-Indigenous collective that will be featuring the wisdom of elders across a different spectrum of tribes. We will also experience the lighthouse experience on Pellworm Island, Germany. We will be magically transported there through the power of our live stream to experience the ringing of a bell up over 100 flights of stairs. We will send a bell that rings from Germany out to Europe, out to the world, emitting the power of ideas, goals, and dreams. You will be able to experience the global broadcast where our dream ambassadors will share their message of hope and inspiration. You will also be able to receive a training from me, my signature training on dreams to action. And then we will be guided into a conversation with Youssef Mahmoud, who served for many years as the Undersecretary General of the United Nations, one of them. And lastly, we will hear from my dear mentor, Dr. Jean Houston, who will be sharing her wisdom. This is a day, in fact, that many of our elders will be present with us, serving to create that intergenerational approach. Jean Houston herself at this time is 88 years old. And so this is the time, and we are the ones who are called forth to dare to dream boldly and to dare to do so together. And so I thank you for being a part of World Dream Day, watching this experience. Please make sure you share it with others. Please make sure you return again and again to this programming that we've made available. Share your dream using hashtag World Dream Day. This is our time. This is the moment to bring forth your ideas, goals, and dreams, and to use them to transform the trajectory of our world. And if you feel so invited and so inspired to do so, please send me an email and my team an email at dream@worlddreamday.org. Go to our website, worlddreamday.org, and begin to explore. Go to our current social channels, as well as the ones that we will be creating to cohere this movement even more powerfully. You can even reach out to me directly on LinkedIn or find me on Instagram at Ozioma. I look forward to supporting you. I look forward to continuing to stay connected with you. And I look forward to you supporting others as you support yourself. And I look forward to your support of me. The reason why I say it this way is because that is how it works. We are dreaming together. I to you, you to me, we to we, another to another. This is how we advance our world. This is how we all move forward. So happy World Dream Day. This is the time. We are the ones. And this is what we've been waiting for. In fact, this is what we are yearning for. To bring forth the best that is within us, to rise to the forefront, to make a meaningful difference during times that require them. I thank you for your time. Happy World Dream Day.